Hi.
Hi, welcome to the CherryLee Podcast.
And gonna have conversation
Mm-hmm.
about business mindset.
Yes.
Mm.
So we were talking about it early on, and I was talking about business. I started talking, like how I grew up and, doing this and that, and then how you did and how you started your journey and so forth. So more of a mindset thing. So instead of business. So it's definitely
Mhm.
business mindset.
Mhm.
And we're going to talk about what we've been through,
Mhm.
over the decades, so to speak, right? We're still new in the game,
Mhm.
but we've been at it a while and we have different ideas and theories and stuff like that. And so we're going to talk about it a little bit.
Mhm.
I thought it'd be best if you go first and then I'll
Okay.
follow. Almost like an interview. I'll interview Cherry a little bit and then Cherry can interview me and see where we go from there.
Mhm.
Okay. How did you start? Not in the business, but how did you start when you had your first job? Like, what were you doing?
Mhm.
And what did you like about it? What
Mm.
did you not like about it? Maybe I'll start with that.
Okay. Like everyone, I start working as an employee,
Mm-hmm.
but at the beginning of my working life, I just focusing on finding who am I
Right.
and what type of job I can do it
Right.
and still being myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I like teaching
Okay.
and I like drama. So I really like teaching something that uh, the children can play, have the hands-on activity. It's activity type,
Right.
not just the lecture type. And I want to be teacher, but I don't want to work for government office, like government school, public school.
Yeah,
I,
you don't want to
I
be a public school
I don't
teacher.
like to be like that because I see a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It's like from my family, from my friends. So I want to work in the place that having more freedom for me because I'm that type.
Mm-hmm.
So I was the employee first, work in the play group and being the facilitator for parents and kids play together and learn how to play and helping them to develop the development. I start from there and I like that job so much.
What job was that?
Play group,
Playgroup. Okay.
play group class leader.
Okay.
Hmm. And I learn more to develop my skills in teaching,
Mm-hmm.
like got the degree, master degree, and become the lecturer in the
So
university.
you did your BA, then your master's,
Hmm.
and then you started working, or were you working pre or in between that, like
I work for, done the
BA?
Bachelor of Fine Art
Yep.
first, and then work
Mm-hmm.
for about 2 years,
Okay.
and then study, and come out to work as a lecturer, full time lecturer in the university,
Okay.
and also open my own studio in the same time.
Okay. So that's before you got your master's. Yes.
After.
After. Okay.
But along the way, I was the freelancer because I spent time for too long to study my master degree, about 4 years. So along the way that I study, I was the freelancer
Okay.
to like still working in both world in the industry, movie industry
Right.
as a casting team
Mm-hmm.
and teaching as a acting teacher.
Right.
Yeah,
So you're sort of like
being an employee.
being an employee, but also in between two worlds, so to speak.
Hmm. But
Like,
but when I was like almost 30, that's the moment that I has changed
mhm.
to start something for my
Okay.
own business, like open my own studio with my
Yeah.
friend.
After you got your master's.
Yeah.
Wow. 30-year-old getting your master's. Yeah. Or before that, but before
Before
that,
that,
but yeah, it's still the same time.
about 28.
28. Okay.
Mm.
So you took your time with that. You decided now I've got some knowledge and so forth. You've done some training. So you have the
Mhm.
employee mindset. Now you're looking to expand on that by
Yeah.
working in the industry and so forth. And
Yeah.
getting that's almost like freelancing, right? Well, it is freelancing.
Mm,
Sorry,
mm.
not almost. is freelancing, and then you think to yourself, okay, now I want to start my own business.
Right.
How did you go about that? Like, where did you get the idea behind starting your own business? Is this something you always wanted to do?
I think it's that from I want to be myself because teaching for others, I have to follow their idea, but I want to follow my idea to
Right.
teach,
Try it out.
create my own curriculum, create my own approach, or using the approach that I believe, and no one can control me. It starts
Right.
from there.
So it is it is like that's definitely more of a, from my experience, from the few people I've known in the industry who ran industry and stuff like that, like business wise, that is definitely a business mindset. Like that is like right then and there. Like now you're almost like, it's a quick story, but it almost like transitioning into that business from employee to freelancer to business mogul or business person, you know?
And because during the time that I was the full-time lecturer, I was the associate dean
Right.
for
Oh, wow.
quality assurance. That means I have to work on the
Leadership.
self-reportment book, follow to the rules. They call more call, or I couldn't remember the abbreviation in English.
It's okay.
But I work in the private university,
Right.
but they still have to follow the rules that the government announced.
Yeah.
And I had to, I have learned a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I have found that sometimes the rules in this country, it's the obstacle itself to develop the education.
Well, I think I'd like to speak on that a little bit. Like, I think that is a struggle on like a lot of countries. Like, I do find, like, if you think, let's just think politics for 1 second here. If you think about politics, what happens is they say politicians are slow in general, right? Like, especially in Canada and America and stuff like that. But the problem is sometimes it's not them. Sometimes there's the obstacles in the way, right? The paperwork and so forth, right? And that could be definitely a thing that you could struggle with. And here, I'll give you an example. In high school, I believe my teacher told me, even though he'd come into the school, that they'd been trying to get our theater program in for years. And like, but you weren't here, and like they brought me in for this, but like, and then why didn't it come in earlier on? And so because they tried getting in, but it took time, right? All the paperwork, all that bureaucracy, as we say, bureaucracy is the word, right? But like all that stuff just got in the way of it, and like once it's in there, I'm like, oh, everything's okay, you know? So yeah.
But I didn't against all the system. I didn't mean that.
No.
But something that flaw, like we have a lot of them in our system, is like the real obstacle. And or the auditor, they just strict to the letter.
Right.
And they don't look at things like in the reality.
Logically. Yeah.
They just like strict to those letter.
Right.
And I just feel meh. So that's why I start my own business.
Right. And that gives you the freedom to make those mistakes or make those things correct on your own terms, right? I think that could be a problem. Like I see it being a problem in a lot of countries. You know what I mean? Like maybe that's where a lot of entrepreneurs come from. They have an idea and it's just that their job or whatever, you can't get it done because of X, Y, and Z, so to speak.
And another thing is about the look of the teacher.
Right.
In this country, they're very strict about how teacher gonna look like.
Present themselves, yeah.
Present themselves.
Because they represent the school.
Right.
They represents maybe the
like
system.
Being the female teacher,
yeah.
You have to wear skirt.
Right.
All the time. Cannot wear pants.
I'm trying to think the last time I saw you in a skirt. And I can answer that question. When we were with my mom, and when she came over, we went to the place in Pattaya. That was the last time I remember really calling you in a skirt. And I like that skirt too. Yeah. But besides the point.
Yeah. And the had done everything like
Every other week. Very cheap, very cheap. And now
I mean it's something
outside the norm.
but I mean everyone have the freedom to be themselves. Even the rules in the school, I never agree. Since I was young, I had to do the bob cut
And so forth, yeah.
all the time, and the guys had to do the
Shave or whatever.
shaving skinhead, having a little bit on the top,
Right.
like the cops, right?
Yeah,
like the
my
soldier
dad,
army right now.
My dad calls it short back and size. I'm like, no, don't cut all my hair
Yeah.
off. But yeah,
White on 3 sides.
yeah. So
And I never agree with it. And being the teacher in the system, you have to be like that.
you have to follow the rules, right?
Follow the rules, and I just choose my way. I cannot follow the rule like that. So I just being
And
myself
that's okay.
outside that type of system.
And I think that's okay. And I think, like I said a few minutes ago, like the idea is like sometimes even like you're working in a business or something like that for somebody, an employer or whatever. And you're like, I really don't like them. Well, why don't you just go do it yourself? And all right, I'll go do it myself. And I get back to where we're at here. So you're starting your company. Your company. What's the name of the company going to be at this time?
I don't mention the company name, but I will mention the brand.
Okay.
It's called the Drama Cube.
Okay.
Which is teaching acting, creative drama for all level.
So you start this business, and how does it start off? Like, what was your idea behind this exactly?
Actually, I want to promote creative drama.
Okay.
To Thai society to know that, okay, the approach to teach acting for the young children must be different from the approach that they teach acting in adult.
Right.
Because back in that time when I start my studio, 2012, many things mix. Actually, it's mixed since I was starting study in the university in the year 2000. And I saw inappropriate approach a lot that they teach to young children.
And can you give me an idea behind what do you mean by that?
Like they force the kids to cry. They force the kids to do the role of adult role, because we don't, like, many people back in that time thought that anyone can teach acting. Acting is easy.
Very easy. There's no need to study or anything.
It's the misunderstood
understanding. Yeah.
Misunderstanding way about acting.
Okay.
Right? But nowadays, people get more knowledge, more understanding. So they're having more acting school, acting studio that separate the approach.
Right. So now
nowadays a lot better. But I think back in that time, the Drama Cube was the very first studio mentioned about creative drama for young children.
Right. And why I know why, but please tell the audience why the importance of drama for especially in the industry then versus now. Like how it's sort of like, then why was it important then for you, and why is it still important, and what's gotten better or changed or stayed the same? That's sort of a two-parter.
The reason why it's important because I experienced it by myself, and I grow up through the drama process.
Okay.
And I have learned that, oh wow, just do one activity, which is drama activity. The kids can develop so many skills. Like language skill, you can touch it.
Yeah.
Like it's tangible.
Yeah. It's very tangible.
And have a lot of research all over the world that drama support language skills.
Fair enough. Yeah.
People skills, because when you work
How to
as a
talk to
team,
people. Yeah.
right? You have to work with many friends
Yeah.
in the team. Sometime having conflict. Sometime everyone agree to each other and support each other to
Mhm.
get the work done. But when it's having conflict, how you gonna deal with it?
Right.
How you gonna find a solution? Like you just need one idea
Mhm.
to show and how you negotiate with a team. It's like using a lot and having physical body movement in the
Okay.
show, right? Now, not nowadays, like all along, since I grow up in front of TV.
Right.
Same thing like the kids grow up in front of iPad.
Right.
We sit down, eating,
You watch the
gaining weight,
television, gaining weight. Yeah.
not move.
Nope.
And back in my time when I was young, adult thought that our the way of learning is separate, using brain separate from using labor,
Physical or whatever.
physical. They
Okay.
separate. But nowadays we know that your brain work because your body move. There are so many research about it.
Yeah. Okay.
The more you move, the brain work.
More active.
More active
Yeah.
brain.
Okay.
And also decreasing the mental health problem,
Mm-hmm.
right? So in one activity, drama activity, kids develop well-rounded skills,
Skills, mindset, so forth.
everything,
Okay.
everything. And they, when the work done, they feel proud of themselves.
Yeah.
And self-esteem is not easy to build if you not build well since they were young. Like let them achieve something small,
Set a goal, hit it,
and develop
grow.
to to success more and more
Yeah.
and more. So every art, I can say every art can develop esteem
Yeah.
for the kids and decreasing the value situation for themselves.
Oh, sorry. Like making them feel they're not good enough. They're not worthy.
Something like that.
Okay. And do you find
they're worthy?
Yeah, they are worthy. Of course they are. But like, do you find is that more now? Is that what you're saying is more now, or is that still in the past, or has it come to this point where this is happening now, where they're getting the skill set, the mind, the mentality, and feeling better about themselves, or is this something that's still work in progress?
Still work in progress.
Okay.
Since we have social media,
Right.
nowadays the kids do more than us. Like
Yes.
they have more skills than us.
For sure. Hands down.
In some kids, they can sing, they can dance, they can act, they can do sports, they can do good in academic way. Many good skills, like well-rounded skills already.
Yeah.
Kids nowadays, Gen Alpha.
Yeah.
But still not good enough
Right.
because of social media.
Yeah.
They compare themselves to others.
Right. When it's hard to get to that, hard to learn to get rid of all the noise, and you know, it's about you, right? And I think you're right. You're right on that, like 100%.
And for it's come back to me as a drama educator.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have to go further more about drama process. Like I work with the kids in the summer camp lately.
Yeah, lately, yeah.
I mentioned about we work as a team.
Right.
Everyone equal.
Yes.
And the leading role cannot be outstanding like that without the ensemble.
Right. And I'd like to join you on that one and say, like, I'm a wrestling fan my whole life, but what I learned through wrestling is the good guy doesn't always beat the bad guy, and the bad guy puts the good guy over, but sometimes the bad guy has to win, right? Sometimes he has to win so the story will move on, and then the good guy can win later on. And watching wrestling through the years, I've learned that their big thing is WrestleMania, but you'll see, I've seen in a crowd where a girl lets the other girl win. That's her role, right? And she's on the outside and she's happy for the other girl, right? The whole thing is, you said it's not about the ensemble or about the lead. It's about together. You might have, and this is a thing that's said in wrestling a lot, you might have 30 seconds or a minute and a half to do your thing. but you make it the best 30 or a minute and a half, and you put the other guy over. We call it putting the other guy over, right? And that's what I realized when we did our summer camp this year. The kids fought very hard for the roles, but they accepted the roles that they got, and some were the leads and some weren't. And an opportunity came, the other one took it, and they all worked together. But it wasn't about them just looking good, especially when we watched the other stuff too. It was about them making the other person look good. I would like to say that, and like that was like
give and take moment.
Yeah,
and I always say that okay, for the solo arts, that person have to be outstanding for the audience to see them.
Yeah.
But for theater arts, we work as a team. And this is a place that everyone equal.
Right.
But maybe the audience, maybe the parents really, really want
their child
kids or their child to be outstanding, being in the leading role. But you have to appreciate even your child become the ensemble, because who can be the ensemble? They so talented. They change the role, like 3 roles in one play.
And then
how can they change that?
Right.
But they can, and they can switch. They have the good memories, like they have a lot of skills to switch the role.
And think about it this way. Like I was always taught, it's not the big things in life, it's all the small things, because they add up to more than the big things. Like, let's be honest here, the ensemble in our production spent more time on stage than the lead roles.
Right.
And not a little bit, like more than double. You know what I mean? And it's like, and it's only 9 minutes long, and some of the ensemble were on there for like 7-8 minutes. You know, and then it's like, oh, but I'm a lead role. I'm like, you are the lead role, but you're supporting everyone. You're part of the team. And I think that's something that I learned through watching wrestling, but I also learned that it's not just about the main guy or the main girl or whatever. It's about the design of the set, the music. In my case, I did the music. You didn't see me on stage, but I did the music, and then you did the narrating. And it's like, they're all important roles, but they don't mean anything if 2 or 3 of the ensemble aren't there doing their bit, right? So you realize that it's like a machine. If you pull one of the cogs out, the machine doesn't work anymore. It doesn't work properly. And realizing, even though you're a big cog, you take all the other little cogs to make you work, right? And you work together as a team. So that was kind of a good way of thinking about it.
So it's always the thing that I teach them, that okay guys, if somebody being the fast learner, you have to slow down a little bit for become equal to your friend. And if somebody's being the slow learner, you just speed up a little bit, and we stay in the average line together and walk to the finish line together.
Right. It's a team
effort. The way work as a team. And we need this skill right now, right?
Yes, we do.
In working society right now,
I think
we need it.
I think with like a lot of the, like you said, the social media taking over kids' lives, takes over our lives too. We can't deny that.
Right.
But with that, it puts you in a place of like emptiness, loneliness. When if you can get out through acting, you realize, oh, there's more to it than that, right? Everything can be something, and everything can mean something. And I'm just watching a podcast now on, he talks about like, you know, working with some of the greatest directors of all time and being on their set, and then that director coming back to him saying, that's a better idea. And you're just a nobody. You're an AD, or you're, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter. Like, you draw off each other, right? And then build that environment, right? And that's what I find the summer camps really do, right? That's what I like about them. Like, those kids were all doing things. They're working together as a team. They're there for a goal in the end. Fair enough. But without all those other parts, with all those other scenes, the goal doesn't even get there, right? So we might think our play is the most important thing, but we also realize that it's not just about the play. It's about everything that comes before that and everything that comes after that.
Right.
And if you can accept that, and if kids can accept that, there's going to be other opportunities for those kids.
Yeah.
and they might be the lead, and some of the kids were the lead in
Mm.
the dance and so forth, and that's
Yeah.
you got to share the love, so to speak.
That's right. That's right. And lately, like I just listened to the podcast about how to manage and run the business from top CEO in Thailand. His
Okay.
name is Pileng, and he's just sharing about the way he recruit the young member, young staff.
Right.
So before he just skip the top university name, let them find somewhere to work, having experience from
jobs.
other
They're going to get the
companies.
jobs. Right.
Then if they want to come back to his company, it's okay.
Yeah.
But nowadays, okay, he opened my up for the fresh graduate people,
And some that aren't graduates,
but
probably.
those graduate people, fresh graduate, should have experience being the activity students
Yeah.
who work as a team with other friends from other faculties.
Yeah.
Because these type of people, they have spirits, leadership
skills.
Because the activity that they have done have no money. And how they recruit their friends,
right?
How they lift up their friends' energy to work toward the end,
right?
Without money,
right?
That means these type of people have something.
They have something special. They know what they're doing,
right?
It's like
right.
talking about like in America how they what was it like Peter Thiel, who's one of the great venture capitalists.
Yeah.
He's like, I want to find these top engineers, and they're all going to university. I'm like, how about this? How about instead of doing that, you can learn on the job, a different approach to this, but very similar, on the job training, and you'll get paid to do that, and you'll get 4 or 5 times as much experience. By the time you get out, you'll be a great engineer. You'll be better than you were, right? And I think that mentality is a really good thing from that CEO, saying, okay, maybe they're not going to be, maybe they would be good in a small university and get that knowledge, but they've already got the experience and leadership skills. Now I need them to apply it. Maybe they start off at the expression mailroom, start off at the bottom, but they're getting that opportunity, and maybe he has a plan for them to move up, but just to learn a little bit about everything, and then we're going to put you in this role and test you out, right? And I think that approach, like finding these young kids, not for us in particular, but finding them, even if we found one that was like fantastic and this and that, like it's good experience for them, and maybe it's good for us in the end. And we're not talking about like slave labor here or anything like that, but like in regards to like, you're not going to get paid a lot for it, but you got to put your work in. And like we put our work and we put our, how many free hours have you put in? I put in well over a year of free hours,
right,
you know,
when
maybe
I
2 or 3
working,
years, right? Like
my dad always said that, when will you get paid?
Right.
Always being volunteers.
And that's not a good thing technically. It's not a good thing technically. And you know, I watch a lot of
but I was full of experience.
Right, you were full of experience, and that helps. And it's like I'm gonna use not an analogy. I watch these videos of like they're short videos of cartoon character who won't work for this and that, and I get it, like, because I'm off the clock now. I get it. I 100% get it, and you should get paid. What I'm saying is, this is what we went through, right? This is not what you have to go through, but you get the option, the opportunity to try it. And yeah, it might be credited as a credit, like not an actual credit for school, but a credit like, we really appreciate this and you will be rewarded later on. But you could still get paid for it, and it's a lot less, but that's okay. It's that lack of experience that you hopefully get. And you're like you said, thousands of hours I put in, right? And I've been there at 4 a.m. in the morning, just working in the restaurant by myself, prepping for the next day. I've been on a movie set and I sat there for 12 hours and didn't do a thing, you know what I mean? And then, but Me being me, I'm like, well, what are you doing?
Mm.
What are you doing? Do you need help with that? Because I want to learn more about the industry, right? There's more to it than that, right? And that's part of what
Yeah.
these kids will have the opportunity.
Yeah.
Not say you can call it a privilege, you can call it whatever. They'll get the opportunity to, and if they say no, that's okay. But from our perspective, don't expect you will get further ahead. You've got to put in the time, no matter what, right? And if you get paid for it, fantastic. If you get paid a little bit for it, that's great. And if you don't get paid for it, that's also great, because your reward will come later when you put your time in. It's like these kids now are getting this from their parents. They're getting a free education. The parents are technically paying for it, and they're not getting paid anything for it. But that's an experience that'll add up later on, you know?
Yeah.
When I come along as a whatever university and I've graduated, I'm top of my field and this and that, what experience do you have? Oh, I'm the top of my field, but what experience do you have? Have you ever done anything? Have you done a play, or have you done this or that?
And I think back to our service, which is creative drama workshop. And if some kids have the opportunity to run the production, is a great opportunity to practice working as a team.
Yeah.
Because running the production is not that easy. It's not only practice or rehearsal the play, but also planning, managing everything in the limited of time and get it done, right?
Yeah.
To be ready for the audience.
Right.
It is like a small company project.
Right. And that gives you experience in running stuff, right? That leadership skill. Like you said, running
and
your own.
Everything actually running the theater production, you have to think about money as well.
Yeah.
Managing the expense,
and this girl here
try to sell the ticket.
This girl here is fantastic with money.
No,
But
because
you figured it out.
I was the creative part, right? I was the director, actor, right? So, but when I grow up, I know that, oh wow, it's very important.
But you're also
to have the great producer.
But
right?
you're also told you have a budget and you need to figure it out. And that's where you start learning. Even though I could be the producer and you could be the director, but I know what the budget is. Let's call it 1,000 baht. And I say, hey, you need to get this done in 700 baht. Right? I know you're going to go over. I'm expecting you to go over, but you're going to work hard to try and get those numbers down to keep it. And maybe you're a little bit like, look, I can do this, but I need another 75 baht or $5, whatever it may be, right? And you're like, okay. But I built that in there as a producer, and I understand I've already talked to my people, but you've got to try your best, and that's part of it, right?
Yeah, that's part of it. Oh, maybe I get developing the entrepreneurship mindset from the projects as well. And but I have too much my own idea. That's why I become the business owner.
Coming to a conclusion, you've done like the business, and it didn't work out as you told. Right?
Because I was lack of knowledge about business.
Right. Now
I have only the idea for the teaching, the curriculum part, right?
Okay.
I have to learn more.
So
I have learned a lot.
Right. Now would you consider that a failure, or would you consider that failure?
That's my lesson one.
Or a lesson, yeah, like a lesson. It's more of a lesson, right?
But back in that time, when I was fail, yes, I accept that it's my failure for the business part, but achievement for teaching implementation part. Yeah, because I can do what I want to do, and I can prove that okay, my approach it's possible.
Okay.
Because I work with many type of student, including special needs student.
Yeah.
And I can develop a lot for them.
Right.
I help them a lot.
Yes. Okay. So now going forward, we did our thing. We found each other, you might say. What have you changed since that? What have you taken from that experience of running your
Mhm.
business
Mhm.
and moving forward to the future, what do you hope
Mhm.
to bring into that?
So first of all, from the lesson that I have learned, I have more consciousness. I have more cautious
You're more
about
you're
making decision. Like I was a fast decision maker,
right.
really fast.
That not there's
Maybe
nothing wrong with that.
not go through my brain, just instinct.
Okay.
So this time I am more slow, being the slow thinker.
Why is that?
Because last time I was too fast.
Now, do you think? Now, may I ask you? I have a different opinion of that. Like, because
Mm.
I am a slow thinker. I'm a fast thinker, but I'm slow when I move. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, because I try to think it through.
Mm-hmm.
So, for you, this is a question for our business that we have.
Mm-hmm.
But like, because I still have that fast mindset, I want to get things done, right? And fail fast is what I've been taught through a lot of
Mhm.
people. A lot of famous people have said it too, and
Mhm.
I believe you did fail fast, right? But then it's scary to go back to critical thinking is a word, like where you think everything. So you don't want to overthink it,
Mhm.
but you are open to whatever works in the end, right?
Mm.
Like whether like because I don't personally see the fast critical thinking as a bad thing,
Mhm.
but I get what you get because for me, like my whole thing is like I've been afraid for so long, so I've been very slow in my thinking. Now I want to get ahead, so I think fast, but I've always thought fast.
Mm.
It's just that I failed, but I had a business to hold me up, right? So it is different when we get to me later on. That's something.
Am I too slow right now?
No, you're not too slow. You think fast, right?
Mhm.
And I don't think that's a bad thing,
I mean, last time I think fast and take action fast
right? So the way to think about it is if
and too fast
fail fast,
and fail
right?
fast.
You fail fast and you
Yeah.
get back up and you fail again, right? It's like I'll use the analogy of Elon Musk always says like
Mhm.
his rockets blow up all the time.
Mhm.
It's like, can you learn from that experience? What went wrong with that rocket? Was it there were no wings on the rocket?
Mhm.
Did the engine not work?
Mhm.
And
And I think this time I think like look at thing realistically more than last time.
that's a better way to think about it
Mm.
because I think for me, if you think things through,
Mhm.
you'll come up with your conclusions, right? And there may be one or two
And
different
I
conclusions,
think it's almost 10 years from the last time,
right?
and I grow up having more maturity,
For sure.
and yeah, and I don't want to go back to that lowest point of
Yeah.
the life.
Okay. So
I don't want to go to that point.
I understand that, but do you remember it?
Yes,
Will you ever forget it?
I won't forget.
Right. I think that's part of it for me. Like understanding that when it's all said and done, if you don't learn from your mistakes, if you don't remember those mistakes and those things you did great, you never move forward, so to speak, right? Like for me, right? Like I love failing because I fail all the time. I'm so good at failing.
Small failing is okay, but
Even big
big
fails.
failing, it's
It hurts.
hard. It's
hard.
hard.
Yeah, it hurts.
And it's real and it's the truth
Mm-hmm.
and it teach a lot.
Right.
But it's painful.
Yeah, but it's supposed to be painful.
And yeah, I
'Cause
don't
you
want to
need
go
to-
back to
You
that
don't want to go
point.
back to it, right?
Yes.
But you want to learn from it, right? And keep
Yeah,
that.
I have learned.
Keep
Yes.
that mindset of like, okay, it sucks to fail.
Mm.
It sucks to fail really big, but just remember those things. Like I'm going through now with finances and stuff like that,
Mhm.
and I have to remind myself who I am, what my mission is for that aspect of that, and go, okay, life's not going to be so bad.
Mm.
So I was thinking this is getting pretty long. I was thinking we could do a second video,
Yeah.
and post it after, and we'll do that one about
About
me,
you,
right?
Yes.
And then what else could we talk about? Like, so going forward, we are working on our business. We are learning and creating ideas to the best of our abilities. And I think one thing I want to bring forth is like we have to get those models in our head, fail fast, and learn fast from them. And it's okay to fail, and it's okay if we blow it and we don't do good, as long as we learn from it and share our knowledge, right? Because especially your knowledge, because I think it's amazing. I think
Thank you.
Thailand needs it, right?
Thailand needs me.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so. So I really would like to do mine. However, I will let Cherry do that for me. And you will notice that we're probably going to wear the same thing. Who knows? Maybe it's a different video. I don't know. But we'll do this and we'll go from there. And I'd like to thank you very much for telling me those things.
Yeah.
And it helps me learn more about my partner, my PIC, my partner in crime. And we'll go from there. All right. I'd like to thank you. Thank you. Bye bye.
See you.